Far too much for the Patriots to handle last night. And we need maybe a defensive mind to come on the show to talk about it, but he's going to be conflicted because this man has history with the New England Patriots. Welcome on GMFB, the day after the Super Bowl, current Ohio State defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia.
Hey, yeah, look at that, man.
My guy. My guy, looking good.
What's up, Coach?
So great to see you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I miss you guys. You guys are the best, and just super blessed to be here. Thank you.
Look, awesome to have you on. I love the energy you're bringing to us this morning. Are you having an existential crisis, though? Because, Coach, am I supposed to ask you about the challenges the Patriots offense face, or do you want to just shine a bright light on the Seattle's dark side defense? Like, when you watch that game, where does your brain go?
Yeah, well, like LeGarrette, I'm going to say on offense, we were struggling a little bit, but I do love the dark side. I think that's a term that I use all the time when I'm talking to offensive guys. LeGarrette would walk by my meeting rooms. I'd be like, LG, come to the dark side. Come over to the dark side. Let's go. But you got to talk about really the pass rush. And I think a great example of just how they were able to use speed to power rush, especially on the backside of Drake, and really put that pressure on him and make him feel like he couldn't step up into the pocket. That established early for the Seattle defense, and I think they kept it going all night.
Coach, you know McDaniels as well as anybody. What do you think that night was like for him last night? I'm not talking about the emotions. I'm like, in the middle of the game, what is he trying to do, and how can he do that on the fly? It must have been so hard.
Yeah, as a coach, you nailed it. I think you're in that game just trying to help your players as much as you can, get the game settled down. And certainly Josh he's the best, and he's trying to just get Drake to settle in the pocket, go through his reads. But it's hard, when you feel that pressure as a player and you're standing in that pocket. We as coaches, we don't play. The players are on the field. They're the ones that feel it. They're the ones that you got to, do everything you can to help throughout the game. And you could see that was just, Seattle's defense was coming, bringing pressure from the boundary, from the field, running too strong, too weak. There was a lot that they were doing.
Coach, you just said that the coaches, you don't play, but you guys all still experience the same things. You won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots, but you also know the flip side of what it feels like to lose the game. What are the feelings you think and emotions that the players and coaches are going through right now?
Right. Just like we're talking about with Josh, as a coach, all you want to do is give your players every opportunity that you can. And when you come out of this game, it's hard, but in the NFL, look, there's only one team that's going to come into the train station safe. All the other trains are going to wreck on the way. And unfortunately, you feel like you've just lost that season, and it's really difficult. But Mike, Vrabel does a great job of just building this team back up and keeping the emotions high. I remember when we lost in 2007, Junior Seau, who's I love, and he was that was the guy I really wanted to win, so he could experience that. And after the game, he's got this huge smile and this huge love of life, and he puts his arm around you. And, you're going to be all right going forward, but it's really hard in the moment.
Go ahead, LG.
What do you think, LG?
Hey, man, Coach, my question is, I just want to know how well, how do you think that Mike Vrabel will get over this loss? Do you think he's gonna go to get in the lab and get the boys ready for next season, or do you think he's gonna take some time off? What do you think he's gonna do to get over this loss?
Yeah, well, Mike's one of the smartest players I've ever been around, and he's obviously one of the smartest coaches in the league, and also extremely mentally tough. Mike will use this as, a learning tool for the team going forward. I'm sure there's a lot of plays that everyone's going to go back on tape and say, wow, we could have had a chance here or executed better here. But Mike's a great leader. Those troops will follow him, and it's a great organization, great culture that he's built. And look, the rest of the league right now is taking a big sigh of relief, because once that game is over last night, everybody's back to 0-0, and now we can just move forward. So Mike will do a great job of building that team back up.
Let's go back to defense, because the Pats defense is pretty good too. They did all they could to keep the Pats in that game. They put pressure on Sam Darnold all night, but Sam still was able to make some good plays. Was there anything about that side of the ball, Sam Darnold making plays, that impressed you, poise-wise? Anything that you saw from Sam that really got you going?
Yeah, give credit to the Patriots defense now. The ball got moved, but the red area defense was phenomenal. And I think what Sam did a great job of, as the game was going, there was a lot of pressure in his face. His poise is really what struck me throughout the game, and his ability to protect the football. You knew it was going to be a really big defensive battle, and protecting the ball was going to be the biggest key in the game, turnovers. And I thought his movement in the pocket, the way that he kind of slid and found those throwing lanes and was able to get the ball out, under duress and in pressure, that's probably what impressed me the most. I thought his poise and his ability to find those lanes, those throwing lanes, was really good in evading the rush. He did an excellent job.
Coach, appreciate your dedication to the we, all the time you spent with New England, but we got to force your hand to talk about the Seahawks defense. I mean, you must have to turn on tape and try to find a way to motivate your defense at Ohio State with different ways. I have to imagine this Super Bowl example, you could turn this on and be like, this is exactly what we want to be and see. Or how impressed were you with that group last night and what they were able to do to, I am sorry to say it, Drake May?
Yeah, Coach McDonald, his staff did a phenomenal job. I think that defense, you could tell right from the get-go, they were going to take over the game. They wanted to win up front, which certainly they put a lot of pressure on the offensive line for the Patriots. And it's going to be great to watch the tape. What was fun last night is I had a lot of my players texting me during the game saying, "Oh, here comes this pressure too strong. Here comes this from the boundary." So for our guys to be able to see some of the recognition of what Seattle was doing and the pressure that they were applying was pretty cool. But give Coach all the credit in the world for his defense, the dark side. That was a fun game to watch. Great players over there. And look, I'm a defensive guy, so I like those games. I like those games. Let's keep the score low. Let's knock them. Let's hit them in the face. Let's win up front. Like, let's go, man. That was awesome. Like, good defense.
Coach is feeling it, and I get it. There's a dark side, though, to a Patriots loss like this. Coach, what do you make of the victory lap this morning being taken by everyone who supposedly can't stand the Patriots, loves watching them lose, tired of them winning, watching them get smacked around on the Super Bowl is just making their week? What do you say to those people?
Well, look, the Patriots were in the Super Bowl. That's a big accomplishment. I think going through the AFC and, doing everything they could to get there. Obviously, the game didn't go the way they wanted it to. And look, if people, they either like you or they don't. And if you're at the top of the mountain a lot, there's a lot of people that don't like you. So the Patriots they've done a great job through that organization, Mr. Kraft, building that culture, that franchise with his son, Jonathan, and the whole family. It's hard. You're either rooting for him or against them. And so I learned one time, Kyle Busch told me this at a NASCAR race. When they introduced him one time, it was a lot of booze, it was a lot of booze.
Yeah.
And he looked at me, he goes, "I love the booze." And I kind of looked at him and he goes, "It means you're relevant." And I was like, you know what? You take the good and the bad and you just go out and compete every day.
Coach, you look at the Seahawks Super Bowl winning roster, one alum from Ohio State, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Give us one name coming out of your building that we need to pay attention to at the Combine and the draft looking ahead in the spring.
I'm really excited for our guys coming up in the draft. Caleb Downs, obviously a leader of our defense.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna slip in Sonny Styles.
Okay,
Arbel
okay.
Reese. We got some good ones.
Okay.
We got some good ones. So I'm excited to see those guys go perform at the Combine and hopefully watch their careers grow.
Coach, clearly you had too much time spent for an organization like the Patriots. People have so many opinions. They get so annoyed with the success. I'm glad you went to a program where people don't have opinions about you guys at all when you win things either.
Yeah, right.
All right? All right. You never shy away from it, Coach Patricia.
Way to go, Coach.
Thank you so much. Thanks
Good job, Matty P.
Go
Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes,
Yeah, great
exactly.
to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.